Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. I'm pleased to say that even though I'm streaming a little bit later on this Saturday afternoon than usual, I do have people to play with. Usually it would be better to try and get the Americans and Europeans together for as many people as possible, but now it's just Americans staying up late, as far as I'm aware. I don't think there would be any Europeans awake at this time. I don't know what time it would be in Europe, but I'd say, maybe 3 AM, something like that. That would be my general guess, and of course it does depend on where you are. Sabiko is saying hello to me. Hello. Not that you can see the chat, but again, sometimes you just have to live with not being able to see it, and hopefully you will forgive me for that. Interestingly, when I came into this room, Sabiko had just returned from a quest, expressing palpable excitement upon having acquired, or received in the rewards, a gem. And the gem in question was for Brachydios. Now, I have had this exact same experience, and it seems that this is generally shared among other players. It is much harder to get Brachydios gems than it is to get palliums in this game, which actually makes no sense, because gems should have a higher drop rate in G rank than palliums, but they are considerably harder to get. I actually have a feeling that there might be a drop rate glitch for that particular item. It's very strange because, again, if it were just one person, you'd chalk it up to bad luck, but if that's the general experience that people are having, then I really do think there is a drop rate glitch with the gems. But anyway, we have single Barioth that's been posted on the board. We have a Hunter Rank 999 in our presence. That would be Kratos, I don't know, I don't really care. I think correctly it would be Kratos, but I think everyone says Kratos, because everyone follows the American pronunciation, which is almost invariably downright wrong, so yeah, just never forget that. But aside from that, let's not get on that subject. I need to do a little bit of editing. Actually, I happen to be using an appropriate weapon for, well, perhaps an appropriate element for this hunt, but maybe not an appropriate weapon. I did forget to actually inform my Discord users that I'm going live. I'll do the typical going live momentarily thing. Okay. I think I forgot to invite. I think Hossein told me that he lost his old account and that he's got a new one, and I forgot to invite him. He told me last night. He probably thinks that I'm intentionally barring him from the Discord now. Going live. 3 Ultimate. It's actually a lie. I'm not going live momentarily. I've been live for like 3 minutes. But I suppose I'm trying to establish a standard. But I'm not going to get into that because that's not especially interesting. I'm going to bring this because I don't have to think about it. I don't have to make a decision. It's there. It's going to work for this quest. And the faster we get ready, the better. Look at this. See this? They're all fucking ready to go. I don't trust the new generation of 3 Ultimate players, I'm sorry. It's nothing against them personally, but I just don't believe that they're going to be willing to wait for as long as the old community used to. Yes, it's 3 Ultimate and it's not one of the newer games, but when you've got new blood, they're not necessarily going to play in the same way the old community did, whether this is a new game or not. So, yeah, I think that notion of patience is a thing of the past now. That's not to say that they started pestering me or anything like that. But I hope that those of you who have been with me for the journey of going through all of these random rooms will appreciate why this is less paranoia and more just a reasonable concern based on prior experience, whether it be in this game or in Generations Ultimate. Alright, let's get moving. Had to fix up my inventory a little bit. I've also made the decision, and I haven't opened my chat yet, I apologize if any of you are talking to me, and I do have a beverage today as well, so that will also be important. Hold on. just making sure everything looks fine. Oh, please tell me I'm actually live. Okay, I am. It was just the Twitch dashboard, which usually appears on my phone, did not immediately appear, so I was concerned that I had failed to go live. That wouldn't have been a happy day for me. Whoops. Now. Don't worry, I have them. Just needed to sort my inventory. I actually briefly shat when I realised that they were not where they should be, but I then remembered that they were brought to the end, or to the bottom, of my inventory. Shut up. Don't I have high-grade earplugs? What's going on? Did I just witness that? Have I misunderstood something? Am I going crazy? I have high-grade earplugs and I just flinched from a Barioth roar. From a distance. No, it wasn't that, sorry, it wasn't that. It just, the timing was interesting. I just realised it was to do with the timing. You naturally flinch when a monster sees you. And the monster is already, you know... Well, actually, no, I don't think there's any prerequisite as far as the monster is concerned. I think that unless you're doing some action, some animation that prevents you from being flinched like that, you will flinch when the monster sees you. And that just happened to be at the same time as the monster roared, so or at least at the same time that I thought I saw the monster roar. And yeah, it looked like I had flinched from said roar, which left me extremely confused for a moment. Prioritizing the wings at the moment. Sometimes chasing the wing can be unhelpful. Because if you force yourself to aim for that one specific target, your DPS is likely to go down. Because if you keep missing the target, or missing your chance to hit the target, sometimes that will mean that you haven't hit the monster at all. Alright, there's paralysis. That's why I'm bringing a paralysis longsword. I don't use status weapons enough, do I? I was meaning to say, I think I was distracted by something that was happening in-game, so I didn't get to complete this thought, but I was about to mention, and it does actually fall within the same subject as not using status weapons. I've decided to actually start using sleep weapons. Which I haven't done since Try, to be completely honest. Like, at all. Not even... I'm not saying that I recall doing it frequently in Try. Literally the last time I did it was when I was playing Try, because sleep Blade Master weapons just don't do anything for me. Or at least didn't. But I'm reaching the point here in 3 Ultimate where I would actually enjoy using sleep weapons, just to have a bit of variety. And I guess more use of status weapons in general would be good fun. So I would like to do that. And I do think that sleep weapons do have a place. I suppose the one thing with sleep weapons that would repel me from using them frequently is that if you're going to bring sleep, you need to have a good bomb setup. You need to have combination materials for more than just 2 barrel bomb L+. Which is fine, it just means that one might be better off bringing combination books, and you can see that I don't have that much space in my inventory. You don't have a quest pouch in this game, unfortunately. Interestingly, the quest pouch was first brought into being in the game that preceded this one, Most Unapportable Third, but then they didn't add it in this game for some reason. Which was a shame. But I suppose the flip side to that would be that the gunner pouch being as... like, you know how you have... I shouldn't say the gunner pouch. Although you didn't have gunner and blade master pouches, what I really meant was the ammo section. In this game you do have an ammo section, and the same could be said of Try, but that wasn't the case in Portable Third. So, if you needed to carry ammunition in Portable Third, much like the games before try, you had to just carry it in your inventory. That was space that could be taken up by other items that could be used in the quest, or taken up by carves at the end of the hunt. So you're usually having to discard your ammunition to actually carve, unless you've ended up bringing the perfect amount of ammunition for the hunt that you have actually embarked on. Hello, gaming. If I want to post, I do. I do want to post, because I actually have a quest that I'd like to do. Sure, thanks. And I will bring a sleep weapon, although it might take a little bit of setup time. I do again have a beverage, and it's just sitting over there, but I don't want to keep these people waiting, and I've just realized that I will have to engage in a bit of preliminary setup. So let's get it started. We will actually depart with a sleep weapon. That's what we will go for. I'll equip this awaken set here. I, off-camera, forged the Uragan Sword and Shield, which is called the Mighty Gigantrion, which you can see has an awakened sleep value of 200. There are probably better sleep weapons to use, possibly even better sleep sword and shields, but at this stage, this is what's coming to mind, this is what I actually have on hand, and this is what I will use. Now, it's not just this weapon that I need to equip. I do also need to organize bombs for myself, properly. I want to do hard-hitting lineup. This is so that I can make that really big, sort of cyan-colored switch axe, the dragon one. I've always loved that weapon design, but I think because I don't like switch axe very much, it's been very low on my list of priorities. But I think it's about time. This many years into me playing the game, I think it's about time for me to start doing that. The reason why I'm going through here is so that I can actually buy a stack of these to the box. The problem is, I would actually have proper supplies in my box if it weren't for the fact that I have severely limited space in this game due to all my monster materials. 10 box pages in a G-rank game is not good. That's one of the negative aspects to 3 Ultimate, to be completely honest. Ew, Elden Ring PvP. That's gross. Alright, large barrels, gunpowder, and... oh, I need to actually... this is where I need to properly value my inventory space. I don't need these. I don't need this. Well, I suppose I could also say these, because that was a stack of multiple. Okay, what have I not brought? Gunpowder and scatterfish. I do this so that I can have enough bombs for all of the monsters. I'll probably just use 2 per monster. Maybe even more, it depends on how ravenous for damage I am. But I actually am not entirely sure, and I will, sorry guys, I know this is really rude to do this after everyone's eaten, but I will eat a gourmet voucher just for myself, because I really want Exchanger. I missed out on Exchanger in the last hunt, so I'm actually going to ensure that I'll get it this time. Alright, so we are all... no, we're not all set up. We need combination books. I'm gonna say 4. I think I would need 4 to get a guaranteed 100% chance of successfully combining Barrel Bomb L+. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's anything... no, there would be something that you could bring on a quest and combine with. By the way, if we need a smoke bomb to only be able to fight one at a time, we're in trouble because I didn't bring a smoke bomb. Or smoke bombs. We'd be in trouble if I had brought only one as well, because that would be insufficient. Yeah, it's... well, it's past midday, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, but that's more or less correct. I shouldn't be taking up space in my inventory with these frickin' things, I'm not in need of them. Alright, Kratos has already made his way in, so I will do... fucking hell, this is not good, this does not bode well at all. I should have known better and actually brought fucking smoke bombs. Oh well, that's entirely my fault. I just would have thought that this Hunterang 999 guy would have actually thought to do it himself. Part of the reason why I didn't end up doing it was because I had so much other stuff to set up that I just, forgot. Sorry. As long as we all focus on the same monster, we'll be fine, because if we start splitting up into two different groups, we're going to have a real problem here. Yes, it's bad to have Diablos as the monster that's attacking you. Can we please... Kratos, can you fucking focus on one monster, man? This little theory where we split into two groups is not going to help anyone, because we have all been seen by both monsters, so they will not focus on you because you're attacking the monster. Sorry. If we split into two groups, what it does is it prolongs the length of time spent fighting two monsters at the same time. So if we could fucking aim for the same one, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to aim for whatever Kratos aims for, because he, at this stage, is the poorly cooperative teammate. Or uncooperative. He's such a dork. Like, why would he do that? Oh, see, he doesn't even have a consistent target. He's not even employing any strategy. Do you know how many hours it takes to get to Hunter Rank 999 in this game? Do you have any idea? We're not talking about 4th gen standards here. This is fucking... Oh my god. Anyway. Nope. I'm abandoning. I'm not pursuing. I'm not doing that. That was ridiculous. And I'm in trouble, you know. I'm in trouble because if these guys don't follow me, and let's not forget I'm live, and I probably don't have any other rooms to join. Yeah, if they don't follow me, I'll be sitting there on my own. We'll see if they follow me. I'm not gonna fucking do it with that. Look who left. Thanks for hunting. You're a fucking embarrassment to your hunter rank and every person who shares it. Moronic bastard. Alright. After that little bout of enjoyment that I was assailed by, I had so much fun, you know, I almost need to take some time to recover. Oh, they're abandoning. No, I'm not gonna... Don't worry about it. He could have... There are two possibilities. One is that he's a cheater, and he didn't actually get that hunter rank legitimately. Or he only sat down and grinded out that hunter rank without doing much else, and without developing much experience in the game outside of grinding for that hunter rank. The most likely would be the first of the two possibilities, which is that he cheated. There are a lot of cheaters in this game. Historically, there have been a lot of cheaters over the last 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, he could have been one of them. Because he just had no... There was no semblance of strategy there. As you say, A-Gaming, he was just fucking panicking. Which is not indicative of experience or anything like that. My beer today, ladies and gentlemen, after all of that, is one that I haven't had before, but I do intend to buy a glass for this particular beer. Now, I'm not German, but I think it's pronounced Weltenberger Kloster. Could also be Weltenberger. I think in some cases they pronounce the W as V, and then in others they don't. I realised that the label's, you know, mirrored. I get that. But yeah, it's Weltenberg Kloster Assam Bock. It's a very, very good beer, supposedly. So I'll be giving it a try. And to be honest, I'll probably keep with this loadout. Just because it is appropriate for this quest. It's appropriate for most quests. and I couldn't really be bothered changing it at this point. The thing is that there's no point cheating to get to Hunter Rank 999 in this game, A-Gaming, or really any game, because the thing is, Hunter Rank 999 is supposed to represent experience in the game. So if you don't have the experience to back up that Hunter Rank that you've got, and the experience to meet the expectations that are going to be placed on you by people who see your Hunter Rank, then there's absolutely no point. It's literally pointless. I'm pouring this in my Saint Bernardus glass, which I don't often use, at least not these days. Ooh, this is very aromatic. I don't know if you can see, you don't have a good perspective here, but the glass is very far away from me. It's almost 30 centimeters away from my face, and I can already smell it. Ooh, it's very nice. This beer is, what is it? 7.3% ABV. So not a super heavy one, but still substantial. I don't like really light beer, it doesn't really do anything for me. Because, you know, it doesn't have any effect, you drink it like water and it's pointless. Okay, the monster will fall asleep maybe twice or 3 times. Now, the number of times the monster would fall asleep during the hunt would entirely depend upon the team and the amount of damage the team would be doing, because the monster in most cases would be dead before 3 sleeps could take place. Well, if it were a single monster like this that wasn't an Elder Dragon or anything special like that. But I'm thinking our damage is not going to be amazing with this team, so... Or unless... Well, we'll see how good my bombing is. That's a lovely beer. Oh, look what I forgot to do. This is precisely why I don't like doing that sort of thing, removing all of my drinks, because I literally operate under the automatic assumption that I will always have drinks in my inventory. So I didn't even consider whether or not I had them before departing on this fucking quest. I just went for it, you know? Because I had to remove them in that previous hunt. What a fucking frustrating turn of affairs. Whatever. I mean, I don't consider my experience in this game, in this recording, to be a failure or a travesty, because it's probably entertaining for you, so I can live with it. And it's a little different. It wouldn't be as enjoyable for me to do, you know, what is effectively random hunts. I have an old series, Doomlink's Random Hunts. This is a live version of that. There'd be no point doing random hunts if everything were the same. I don't have antidotes either. Oh, it's Hot One. Isn't Hot One an idiot? I mean, he doesn't have the best name in the world, but I think Hot One is really bad at the game or something. I'm in serious fucking trouble, guys. This is double poison. I am really ill-prepared for this hunt. All because I removed those antidotes and hot drinks and cool drinks, and I completely forgot that I'd done that. I was distracted by beer and by the stupidity of that Hunter Rank 999 guy. I am in such deep shit. This is bad. Oh, I feel like a real fool. Well, I'm surprised I'm not dead, to be honest with you. After all that's just happened in the last 5 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds, doesn't matter, it's bad. And I'm really going to have to be careful here. I can't let myself get hit by any poison. The monster should already be asleep by this point, but I haven't had much of a chance to hit him, because I have not been playing well at all. See why you absolutely need antidotes for double poison? Although I did reset the counter by getting hit by poison again, to be fair. But yeah, double poison hurts a lot. You really want to have it on you. But yeah, 200 of a status, in my opinion, would be the minimum. I don't think it's really worth using something that has status if it has less than 200 of that status, unless it makes up for that with really high raw damage. Can we not do this, please? Thank God. Why are you not asleep yet? I actually don't know the sleep resistance of Giganox. I don't know the sleep resistance of most monsters, to be honest, because I think I said, to be honest, twice. This is pissing me off so much I don't even know where to begin. I actually cannot summon the words to adequately describe how fucking frustrated I am by the situation. It's like I'm a carpenter who turned up to a building site without his tools. You know, literally what should be there to do the job is not there, and like, what are you supposed to fucking do? That's what it feels like. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, I'm literally doing this without the tools necessary to actually function as a hunter. Were you saying you'd rather drink dishwater than light beer? In which case, I'd have to agree with you. Alright, you guys, fortunately we're not engaging the monster anyways, so that's good. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what it means to be a new generation of hunter. I informed you guys that the monster was going to be falling asleep. Precisely so that you didn't do that. But I guess if you're really that new, like if you're really that lacking, you know, this has actually been by a significant margin. Like, there is almost no competition at this point. This has been the worst couple of hunts I've done. Like, this has just been terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I almost can't believe it. But yeah, it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. It can't get much worse than this, so hopefully this quest doesn't last much longer, because this is fucking garbage. Absolute shit. Anyway. I don't have hot drinks. I'm not going to ask for them because I'm too embarrassed to do that. I can't remember the last time I had to ask for fucking hot drinks, but you know, I have at times needed to ask for whetstones. But that's a bit of a long story. In the 4th gen games where you can actually use whetstone, well, no, I should actually say 4 Ultimate specifically. In 4 Ultimate, where you can actually use whetstones as combination materials for slicing ammunition. If I had used the whetstones that would always be in my inventory in a previous quest to actually shoot slicing shots, quite frequently I would completely forget that I had done that. Like, let's say I did a hunt with slicing and then I log out of the game and I don't play it for months, and then I come back, you know, this is in 4 Ultimate, and this has happened recently as well. I come back and I don't have whetstones in my inventory. I never really thought about it because it didn't enter my mind. You know, normally they're there automatically, as they should be. But then I would depart on a quest literally without any whetstones, and it would be a really sad situation. You know, again, it's fine, Wyvern, seriously. At this point, what is actually the purpose to me using sleep here? The lack of experience is so acute that they don't even understand the purpose of sleep. The purpose of sleep is not necessarily to bomb the monster. The purpose of sleep is to deal a good wake-up hit. Whether that is in the form of bombs or some sort of attack from a weapon depends on the situation, but the good thing about using bombs is that you don't need to use a specific weapon type to make good use of a wake-up hit during a sleep. A longsword, for example, and Sword and Shield is the same way, does not have one single attack that can deal a really heavy amount of damage. You know, they are weapon types that, through the use of several attacks in a combo will deal the damage. Monsters like Hammer and Greatsword are weapons that can deal out a lot of damage in one single attack. So they are appropriate for waking up monsters. But, you know, there's absolutely no consideration given to any of what I just said when the person doesn't even know anything about it. So, yeah, I can't speak for Wyvern, but at the very least, Sebiko just doesn't actually understand what's going on. So, that's alright. Will I take it upon myself to inform them? I don't know. I, at this stage, have lost all energy to even communicate with these people. Not because I personally dislike them, but because I feel that these last 2 hunts have sapped all of my energy. Like, all of what I am has been required to actually maintain some modicum of sanity throughout all this. So, yeah. Real good fun. Great hunt. Normally I'd congratulate the team, like, hey, nice hunt, or good hunt is what I would say normally. But no, not this time. Not this time. Sorry, I didn't know his sleep, says Sebiko. He says, well, I'll let you see it as well. Sorry, I didn't know his sleep animation was lying on his back. Okay. But what did you think he was doing? He was lying on his back, just as still as he is doing here, and had been doing it for a full 4 seconds, at least 4 seconds, maybe even 5, and you just went in and attacked him, you know. It's just, what it shows is that the person doesn't actually watch what they're doing in the game. They don't watch the monster or the scenario at all, but that's fine. The thing about a sleep is that it interrupts whatever is going on in the hunt. So at least for me, I immediately work out that it's asleep. You know, built within me is, if the monster is doing something strange, or the monster has suddenly changed what it was doing to begin a different animation, it draws my attention, I look at the monster, I hold off on attacks at least long enough to make sure it's not doing something like falling asleep, and then I'll resume attacking. That's one of the reasons why I never interrupt a sleep, is because that's built in me. But some people, as you can tell, don't have that. They haven't developed that, and perhaps they haven't even sought to develop that. They don't realize why that may or may not be helpful. But again, I'm not going to have a go at them because they're not experienced in the game, so fine. Hopefully they will develop that over time, but for the moment, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to deal with that. It's fine. Was there anything else I needed? Antidotes, yeah. Alright, is that everything? That looks like everything. God, what a terrible hunt. What a terrible 2 hunts. But at least we succeeded. Hot 1. If you want to post, go for it. By the way, I'm not going to be doing hard-hitting lineup with this team. We're in danger. I'm in danger. I say we to be inclusive of you, my audience. Sebiko and Wyvern are both going to ready up for this quest. And Hot 1 might depart without me, because I think, based on my vague memories, Hot 1 is exceedingly simple-minded. I don't know why. I mean, I've run into a lot of people that could be characterized with that phrase, but something about Hot 1 seems to bring back a memory of, oh, what was it? Goebel and Plesioth, so both of them are primarily weak to Thunder. I'll bring Thunder Lance, let's just do it. The faster I can do this, the better, because otherwise I am at risk of being left behind, seriously. But yeah, that's why you don't ready up, unless you're actually convinced that it's time to depart. Because you don't want the actual quest host to Ladies and gentlemen, you all need to understand something very carefully. This is not paranoia. I know that so many of you sit there, you're like, Doomlink, you're so fucking paranoid. It just happened. That's how predictable this generation of Monster Hunter players is. And this is how far the community has fallen. You wonder why I don't actually consider myself part of the community. I don't. It's because it has actually devolved this much to the point where it's no longer recognizable, and I'm not a part of it, sorry. Like, I'll do my own thing and you guys can enjoy it if you want, but I'm not part of the community. I'm not part of this. Again, I predicted the scenario perfectly. Sebiko and Wyvern both readied up because they were ready to go. Not realizing that there was a risk that Hot One would just depart without me because he didn't want to wait. That's exactly what happened. Sebiko responds with, I didn't launch the quest. I know. I'm glad that you're abandoning. Thank you. Sadly, I'm not the host of this room, because if I were, Hot One wouldn't have a room to return to. I'd kick him right here, which would mean that when he returned, he would be automatically booted out. This person, perfectly in line with my expectations, is a complete oxygen thief. An absolute waste of space on this earth. Better off under the ground, quite frankly. This has been the biggest train wreck of a recording I've ever done, but maybe not train wreck of a recording. It's entertaining, I'm sure, and I guess it's a bit different from the norm, you know, instead of just hunting monsters and succeeding, you know, even getting to the point where I'm hunting monsters is like pulling teeth out. But, you know, in terms of success in playing the game, there's been none of that. It's been pure misery. Fucking can't even fit that in. All right, let's do some Plesioth. I'm already set up for this. It's like I'm on a loop. Oh fuck! I'm in a loop. Remember last time? Hunt failed, so the next one was put up, and I happened to be using something that would be appropriate anyway, so I didn't bother changing what I was using. Just got into the quest. What's gonna happen this time? Seriously. I don't know if I can do this. Like, it may very curiously appear as if I'm having fun, but I'm actually dead inside. After what I've experienced. What quest are we doing? Guys! Can we please, like... okay, well, which one are we doing then? Fuck me. Alright, Thunder on the Tundra. I've been thwarted again. Or are you going to post? Have you changed your mind? No. It's alright. I'll get through it somehow. Maybe we'll actually start successfully hunting without major grievances to be found. Wouldn't that be really nice? I'd be totally enamored with that. Now, I don't even know what I want to use anymore. Let's just use raw damage. What would be good? I don't even know what I have as a raw weapon. I should have the Diablo's Lance at this stage. You know what? No, I think they're both using slime, aren't they? I'm not going to use a third slime weapon. Fuck it. Although I suppose I could. I am at this point so spent. Mind, body, and soul that I'm just going to use Rising Tempest and be done with it. What I want is the standard Diablo's Lance, not the black one, because that one actually doesn't have slime awakened, so I would assume that as a purely raw-based weapon it would be better than this one in this game. In the past, as I mentioned in a prior recording, it was actually a case where the lance would naturally upgrade into Black Diablos, but here in this game you've got the two branching types off the one upgrade, and it branches because one of them indeed has slime awakened and the other doesn't, so... Anyway. You guys wonder why I have no fucking faith in the community. Oh, fucking Max. Can we abandon for Max? Alright. It's okay, I realize that we're stopping and starting. I feel like I'm being hot dogged by a giant cock right now. But it's okay. Because we'll get there eventually. We'll be hunting eventually. But at this point, I want to the best of my ability, cultivate and nurture a 4-man scenario. I want 4 people to be hunting together. I don't want Max to leave. I don't want to make him wait. Let's just do it. Come on. Like, hello, Max. Lovely set. I love your set. It's not a common set, and I think it's really good. It's very functional, and it makes me happy. And he's got a lot of fucking resource points. Like, a lot of fucking resource points. What was the quest? Barioth and Baleful. Now, this is assuming the same one's been posted. Yes. Thankfully. I won't change gear. Anyway. We'll see what Max comes out with. This is obvious. You might not have noticed it, but I'm going to mention it. And once I draw it to your attention, it will be very obvious. But I'm in trouble. I'm a lance user sharing space with 3 longsword users. It would be much smarter at this stage. And do you know what, I'm going to do this? It would be much smarter at this stage to go longsword, and I think it would be better off if I were to bring... No, I can't bring Paralysis Longsword, because Baleful's a Paralysis monster. But I'm not going to bring Lance. I'm not going to be on my hands and knees for the entirety of the next hunt. I'm not going to force myself to endure that shit. And also don't want to have 4 people using slime weapons. That's ridiculous. So what would I like to bring? Having said all that. Holy god. What do I have? That's probably a better sleep sword and shield, huh? I recently forged that too, I think. Actually, I think I had partially upgraded it from a long time ago, and I just recently fully upgraded it. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Again, as I say, I'm spent. Is there a switch axe that I might want to bring? I don't have many raw weapons, do I? Wish I had a few more. How about no, I won't bring End of Night. There's almost nothing here that makes me happy. Sometimes you have to be happy inside before you can enjoy things outside of your own personal experience. But this looks like an option, I know, but it's not fully upgraded. So I'm not going to use it. Alright. Let's use Struction Demolisher. With the Honed Blade set. Let's just do it. Let's go 4-man slime. At the very least, I'm not going to be using... That's not as good as it looks. At the very least, I'm not going to be using fucking... whatever it's called. Lance with this team. I'm not going to join in on the longsword sausage fest. But that's okay. See how Max isn't readied up? This is what it means to have experience in online play. He doesn't know Wyvern. He doesn't know if he's going to depart without me or not. So Max doesn't risk it. He doesn't ready up because Wyvern's obviously not going to depart with one person leaving 2 behind. But he might do that. Again, I'm saying from Max's perspective, he might do that with 3 people. So... well, 2 people apart from himself anyway. Alright, is it time to hunt now? I think it is, yes. That hip check, by the way, has a lot more range than it may appear. In fact, no, it does appear to have a lot of ranges because he does physically move very far and it feels as if his wing almost expands in your direction. Alright, fortunately I can resist your roar with my Rocksteady. Rocksteady can probably block all roars except Genmoran and Diamoralis and Giganox. That would be my guess. I think those are the 3 monsters that Rocksteady doesn't work with. And do keep in mind that that information is only accurate when it comes to this game, because Rocksteady was terribly nerfed after this game. Or maybe appropriately balanced, it depends on your perspective. Yeah, it never feels good to have 4 people running slime. I don't think it actually ends up being good. I think you may reach the upper limit of effectiveness when you have 2 or 3 slime weapons, but I'm pretty sure 4 is redundant. I don't think you get the full effectiveness of it. I could be wrong, but that's the impression I have. I'm being flinched a little bit, but at least I have the mobility to get out of the way of the people with the flinching weaponry. If I'm using a lance, I can't get out of the way of it, and that's one of the reasons why lance is really bad for being flinched by teammates, is because you can't actively avoid them. You know, because you're a lance user and you're using a shield, you can't walk around very fast. So you're more likely to be at the mercy of your teammates. And of course the other problem is that you don't get any armor, what they call armor. Let me rephrase that because I don't like that at all. You don't develop a resistance to small flinches with any of the attacks that you perform as a lance user. You can be flinched by little things all the time. And that's a real problem with teammates. This beer's very nice. Even though this hunting session has been beyond garbage. Like, it's at this point unsalvageable. No matter how much enjoyment I have after this point, I'm still spent beyond all imagination. But, you know, at the very least I have had this accompanying beverage, which happens to be very nice. Very flavoursome. And enjoyable, in general. High quality. Hello, baleful Giganox. And come to think of it, and I hadn't even factored this in, I did miss out on my chance to get increased HRP during the hard-hitting lineup quest, because I did actually end up having whatever it was called, exchanger for that hunt, so... Well, see, I wouldn't have been able to shield that, so I tried to get out of the way, but... If it looked like I could have gotten away faster, the reality is that I couldn't have done that, because I was still committing to animations at the time. But Sword and Shield is generally better for that. Sword and Shield doesn't have really long, drawn-out animations. I do have to shield this because indeed Giganox, as I was just mentioning, will have a roar that can't be resisted by Rocksteady. I'm glad I can shield that at least. Of course, that head is very well armoured, so I have to sort of aim for, if not the wings, then the main body. Bloody head. I think if you break the head, it loses its armour. I'm glad I had the stamina to shield both my teammate and the roar, but unfortunately another roar came through. I suppose that's from some slime explosion that no doubt immediately reached another health threshold. See why Sword and Shield is so good? Just the power to reposition and close the distance. To distance oneself and then to close the distance, the ability to do that is what makes Sword and Shield such an enjoyable weapon type. Good job, says Max. Well, I wouldn't concur with that sentiment for the reason that, we're using the most broken status in the game. Every single one of us. So it's going to be a beatdown no matter what. It's inevitable. A foregone conclusion. Cheers to another successful hunt, I guess. Anyway, I will definitely create a highlight out of what happened back there, because that was really special. Let that be the last time any of you chalk up my concerns as paranoia or to be paranoia. Because it's not. It's real. It's a real risk, always. And the funny thing is, it didn't surpass my expectations. I was already, in my mind, thinking of what to say in the event that the person departed without me before it happened. You know, I said that I was worried about it, I meant what I said, and I was pretty much expecting it to happen. So, there you go. I really don't have any space in my box. Oh, I think I was meaning to... Yeah, no, I did finish the point. I was saying before, and I'll repeat the point because now you're curious, no doubt, that I just don't have much in the way of supplies in my box for the reason that I just don't have the space. I can hold a few stacks of honey, but even this is less than ideal because, again, I don't have any space at the moment, so it's a real shame. I love to amass more stuff in my box so that I don't have to worry about either purchasing it or waiting to purchase it, or even gathering it, whatever. Ugh. High rank gem Moran. It's not my room, so I can't say anything about it, but fucking hell, does it have to be high rank? Because it's not going to be worthwhile. It would still be fast if it were G rank, so to do high rank just feels like a waste. But if he needs high rank materials, then fine. I guess not. Nice to meet you. Okay, well, great. Nice to meet you too. I suppose it was Sebiko who posted that. We're trying to get Elder Dragonblood. Elder Dragonblood. It probably would have a higher chance of dropping from the high rank version, to be honest, but I still don't want to do it. Is there a G rank version of Elder Dragonblood? Let's find out. Where is it stored? Is that it? Yeah. There is no G rank version, so maybe it still drops just as frequently from G rank monsters. That would stand to reason. Oh, no, hold on, sorry, that's HR8 requirement, I think. Oh, let me just restart. Oh well, I guess we're stuck with high rank then. But yes, I'll give you a chance to read the conversation. Because at the moment, I'm just having to represent what is written here instead of giving you the chance to read it yourself. But yeah. I just forget about the HR requirement because it's been so long since it's been relevant to me personally. Let's use something fun. Let's use an ice weapon, but what's a weird ice weapon? A weird one would have been, well, perhaps not a weird one, but an ice weapon that's not necessarily really good would be Dragon's Roar, the one that I wanted to make from Hard Hitting Lineup, which I still haven't made for some reason. But yeah, maybe not. Well, definitely not because I don't have it. Ice Gun Lance. I don't want to use the Lagombalanche. That's one of the only ones I have, I think, and it's not a great weapon. I mean, I did just say that I might use an ice weapon that's not very good, but I actually don't like this weapon at all. So I won't do that. Ice Hunting Horn. Could use a bow, an ice bow. Maybe a rapid ice bow would be fun. Which I think would be Barioth, right? I'll do load up rapid because I don't know if it requires load up or not, but where is it? Amber Arc Valanga. It does not require load up. But yeah, that's what we'll do. Just something different. I do not remember the last time I used a bow on a Gem Moran. I've probably only done it once ever on camera. Ever. So why not? Apparently the chance will increase with the breaking of the arms, which is fine because they will break. It's just part of the process for me. Max has redeemed a gourmet voucher, or has presented one. No, he has redeemed, but I was going to say that the redeeming process would be what we do as the people also benefiting from it. But how it works is he has a voucher and then he redeems it with the chef and then we can reap the benefits of that. So yes, it would be redeemed. That is perfectly acceptable. Anyway, I look like such a dork with this setup because the helmet's so big yet I look so skinny. I think it's a very dumpy looking set, but again, it's not about the looks, it's about how it functions. Function over form. Power coatings. I really should take the ones out of my fucking box, to be honest, because they're just taking up space unnecessarily in there. But it's too late now, I've already purchased them. Alright, what's happening in my gunner inventory? Need to clean up a little bit. This is the thing. When you change inventories, you do actually have to check to make sure everything's in order. May as well keep huskberries in there, why not? Yeah, should be fine. Okay, well, again, something a little different. Might make this more fun. I hope so. This isn't a rappel quest, is it? I hope not. Max is saying that he won't shoot us with pellets. I don't quite understand why he felt that necessary to mention, or felt that necessary to be mentioned, because that's a Pierce gun. And there is no association that gun has with pellet shot that I have ever been familiar with. Can I start again? Can I have a new take? Okay, take 2. I don't know why he warned us that he is not going to be using pellet shots if there is no pellet association with the gun that he's using. It is instead fairly clear that he would be using Pierce. Okay. That's how we speak English, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. English lessons with Doomlink. Fuck's sake. My eye is itchy. Just letting you know. I still got hit, even though I sheepishly moved away from the likely drop point of the rock that was imminent. Well, the rock wasn't imminent. The falling of the rock was imminent. Anyway, that's alright. Apparently I can't speak anymore. You know, it's like if you have a bad start to your day, you're probably going to have a shit day. Well, I had a bad start to the recording, so I'm sorry if I'm not a bundle of laughs at the moment. It wouldn't really be worthwhile doing fucking arc shot, would it? I could give it a try. It's not very worthwhile, is it? But yeah, rapid is fun. Nothing wrong with a bit of rapid. Perhaps it would have been appropriate to bring combination materials for power coding, seeing as though I will be shooting a lot, but that's fine. I'll live with a bit of lacking damage. Oh, come on. Well, not a terrible use of the gong, but definitely unconventional. Which isn't necessarily synonymous with bad. But I would at least say that it was unnecessary. I'm enjoying that critical damage that I'm dealing. I might be a little bit too slow here. No, I managed to get over to this side before he could do his little attack. I do enjoy the visual effect of this. I wonder what my rapid dragon bow is. It might be Stygian's and Ogre, I don't remember, to be honest with you. Strangely, I have an invulnerability to the sand. Maybe I'll keep my bow drawn when Gem Moran dives under the sand. And then I'll be floating on the sand. Oh, I can't imagine that actually working. It would be funny though. I think that just broke, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Well, that works out. I was making my way over here to avoid his tail attack anyway. A question of how effective this strategy is would not be an out of place or inappropriate question. I think he might be throwing us off. Yep, jump off. I was close enough to slide off for a reason, because I had a feeling that he was going to try to throw us off. Sadly, Sebiko may not have noticed it himself. Oh, I do have some power coatings in here. Unsurprisingly, I'm the only one who's going to get use out of them in the team, so I will take them for my personal use. That's actually very nice. An additional 20 power coatings isn't anything to sniff at. Might have time for a second cannonball, actually. But yeah, essentially how it works, damage-wise, is cannonballs will deal more damage, because you can't aim the cannon specifically, and the range is much shorter than ballista. Ballista ammunition deals less damage, but obviously you have the maneuverability and the greater range. Ballista is better if you want to break specific things. This is getting a bit special, guys. I understand that you're inexperienced, but this is getting embarrassing. Okay, it's my fault. Shouldn't have stood in front of you. I'm not going to blame you for that. Oh, I'm sorry. That was not my intention. Sebiko, what's happening, man? You need to watch the monster. I fully recognize that I should have taken greater care with my shooting. Please don't shoot that while I'm trying to jump on it, man. If he flinched me in midair with that shot, which can be done, I would fly straight off into the sand, and while I'm sure it would be entertaining for him and indeed for my audience, I would be pretty pissed off about it. But anyway. It looks good, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I was in the middle of talking about whether or not this would be effective. I'd say it would be effective. But the thing is, rapid bow is best used on weak points for monsters. At least in my opinion, because you have that maneuverability. You're using a bow, which is a very mobile weapon type. You have the benefit of range. So there's no excuse to not be always hitting a weak point, essentially, but you can't so much do that with Gemmaran. But it's because of those factors that I just mentioned that I would say bow is generally a weaker weapon type. You know, bow is not this immensely effective weapon type unless you're applying slime status with a Kelby bow. So I would say the reason why is because you can very easily aim for the weak point consistently with this weapon. So I will reiterate, attacking something like this crack in his back, in his spine, whatever you want to call it, not that great, because it doesn't have a high shot weakness point. Like, it's not... I can't remember what the value would be, but it's not very great. It's average. Not zero damage, not almost nothing, but it's also not really a weak point, you know. Gemmaran's weak point is in his mouth. Although he's probably weaker here than he is on his arms, so... Well, that would stand to reason, wouldn't it? Maybe I should save the power coatings for the arms, come to think of it. Or perhaps coatings in general. Because we do have to break the other arm. We don't want to accidentally kill the Gemmaran before we can break his other arm. I don't know if we've even broken the first one. You know, the one that we have access to from the beginning. Oh, whoops, that's my mistake. I did what I could. Looks like I fell really far there. I don't know if you had that impression, but... yeah, I was really thrown hard. I was ready to roll off, but I... perhaps wasn't ready enough. But yeah, there is a real risk that... are we going straight to the final showdown? We should be. With Max shooting Pierce, presumably, Are you for real? We're not going to the final showdown yet? Jeez, the bow really does suck on this monster. I'm not surprised, but... Wyvern, I don't trust you to Dragonate this monster, I'm sorry. It's nothing personal, but please don't. Actually, I'm not going to be able to dive. Whoops, that was dumb. Wyvern, don't do it, man. I know it might be fun, but if you miss it, it's not going to be good for anyone. Sebiko is putting a lot of faith in Wyvern. The fact that he didn't actually stand there and do anything. Like, it does let both of us do the animation to hit it. The timing that I use is basically, if I wait any longer, we're gonna get hit. That's the timing I use, you see. So if he didn't do it at the time I did it, then we probably would have been hit. So I'm glad I didn't leave it in his hands, for God's sake. Unless he really was just standing there with no intention of using it himself. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, there was an old wives' tale back in Tri that the closer you were to failing, the more damage the Dragonator dealt. So the closer Jen was to the boat, the more thrust damage the Dragonator would do. I don't know if that was true. I don't think it was. I think a hit was a hit, regardless. But maybe there was a sweet spot. I don't know. Some timings did look better than others, and I used the one that looks better, so... there you go. Oh yeah, I do have coatings to make use of. I don't want these guys to forget the objective here. Max, fortunately, has not. And I have not. But they're just randomly shooting with ballista ammo on the monster. Well, at least in the case of Sebiko. Whatever, I'm not gonna judge. Maybe he is actually doing something for a reason. I don't know, but... what I'm trying to do is make sure that we break these arms before he dies. Because I think he will die soon. Close range coatings are really good in conjunction with the rapid style of shot. Because rapid does work best at a closer range. Much like normal shots do with the bowgun. Alright. We don't want to actually kill him out there. We must resist the temptation and let him move forward a bit. Max, please don't. You and I don't need this stuff, but they do. Sebiko is telling Max to let him come forward. I don't know why Max needs to be told, to be honest. Even now I'm not comfortable with attacking. I would wait until the next arm comes forward. You can see that does actually physically bring his body forward a lot. So now we need to wait more because at least we broke that arm, but again, if we kill him there, we might not be able to carve everything. All broken, says Max. Well, good job, but that doesn't mean you don't want your carbs, believe me. It helps. I don't think this would somehow pierce into the mouth weak point, so... I do think the belly, like the underside of the monster... Oh, there you go. What that does is it allows for this. Attacking the belly actually creates this flinch effect. Now this is where the real damage comes. Shoot it into the back. First fucking attack, mate. That is heavy damage right there. That is close range coated rapid fire arrows on the weak point. That would actually hurt. So that's very good. I probably don't have many high rank Gem Moran materials either, so it would be a good thing to carve. In this situation, it's actually worthwhile carving. Usually I'm engaging in hoarding. But this time, I might not have much of this stuff. Obviously, because I'm a G-rank hunter, I prefer to do G-rank quests, which means that I accumulate mostly G-rank materials. So low rank and high rank, there is more scarcity in my box. I didn't deserve that. Or maybe I did, for helping out, but that's an Earth Dragon gem from a high-ranked Gem Moran. I would have much preferred that one of those Hunter Rank 6 guys got this Earth Dragon gem, but... oh well. I suppose I have to accept it. It's my 32nd. I'm not in need. Hunter Rank 490. We're slowly approaching 500. We're getting there. That's a nice hunter rank to reach. It'll be really significant when I reach 568, because that was the last hunter rank I remember having back in Tri. And it's about as difficult to rank up in this game as it was in Tri, in terms of the amount of time it takes, like to accumulate all of those HR points. It takes a long time. Like, I think the requirement at this point is maybe 10,000, 11,000 or more. And it just keeps going up and up and up. So it takes a long time to rank up. So it'll be really nice to reach that number again here in 3 Ultimate. It doesn't mean anything to me. I've already surpassed that in 4 Ultimate, Generations Ultimate. What else? I suppose that's it, yeah. But in this game it would actually mean something. Whereas in those games it's just easier to rank up, so it doesn't actually matter. Finally finished the set, says Sepicom. I don't know what you've finished. What would require Elder Dragon Blood? What? Finished the set? You wouldn't use the word set to refer to a weapon, so he's obviously needed Elder Dragon Blood for the Rathalos set? Which is not actually viable, because he's now moving into G-Rank, like he's in G-Rank doing G-Rank quests. I didn't even realize he was using high-rank stuff. Whatever. I don't sigh in an exasperated fashion because he's dumb or whatever. It's just, I feel sorry for him, you know. He's in G rank and he's working on a high rank armor. Not just using it because he's got no other choice, but he's working on a high rank armor. So, or armor set. It's rough. Just forget it, man. It's time to start working on your G-rank set. You've managed to get by up until now with your defense, so just keep with that and make some G-rank materials. Make some G-rank armor pieces, rather. As I said, I'm not doing hard-hitting lineup with this group, so... Post what you need, says Max, yeah. Well, he probably assumes that I don't need anything either. For the most part, I don't. We're an hour and 20 minutes in at least. I'm glad. I don't really have the energy to do more than 2 hours today. No way in hell. I would have, but not now. Please be G rank. Are you for real? You're going to make me do not 1, but 2 high rank Gem Moran monsters for your Elder Dragon blood. Sorry, but it's not going to play out that way. Not now. I'm not doing it. I had already expressed discontent. Oh my god. Passworded room, you absolute shit stain of a human being. Why are there so many passworded rooms in this fucking game? It's not the same people every time, it's always someone different making a passworded room. Why can't I hunt with you? You would be one of my options right now if you didn't have a fucking password on the room. Get a grip. If someone's negatively affecting your online experience, kick them. Don't bar the entire community from playing with you for whatever arbitrary reason you may have. It's inconsiderate. There's no reason why you have to be here either. This is the thing, you dangle it before me in doing this. If you just minded your own business and went to some obscure room, I'm not going to seek you out. As far as I'm concerned, you don't exist as an option. But when you're here in room 1 of world 1, putting a fucking password on your room, it is a squandered opportunity for me. You know, I'd actually have an alternative to that room where I was basically forced to do... Well, if I wanted to stay, I would be forced to do high rank Gem Moran twice. I didn't even want to do it once, much less twice. It's because it's high rank. I don't want to do high rank quests. I'm not averse to helping them necessarily, but... You know, I saw that there was a turns room hosted by a G rank hunter. I wasn't expecting to be doing high rank quests. That's the reality. And I'm far less incentivized to help them out if it's to forge a high rank armor set while they're already in G rank. So, this is pretty awful. I think my only recourse at this stage would be to finish things up. I apologize for that, but... You know, I don't have another option, and I'm not playing with them. It's not happening. I'm not going to come back, which would be already embarrassing, and then just do a quest that I don't want to do. So, it's pointless. And I don't think I have a right to impose upon them and just say, nah, not doing this quest, you have to choose something else. That's not my right to do that. So, I would rather just not be there. Anyway, I think that will finish things up. It's a short live stream, I get it. And, I guess I apologize for that, but I don't have any other options at this stage. So what I'll do is I'll finish up for now. I will upload this, it's fine. I'm sure there was at least some level of entertainment to be extracted from this viewing experience, but yeah, I wish it could have been longer, but it's not. I bid you all farewell for now, and I thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.